She really pointed a gun at my mother over a batch of cookies we never even baked. Let that sink in for a second. An actual loaded Glock, cocked, aimed at a 76-year-old woman, because we didn't jump through hoops for the neighborhood party. I didn't record it for TikTok, not for some viral moment, but for the record, for the neighbors who keep their blinds tilted just so, for the few who'd always told me, Jonah, don't rock the boat. I did it for Patricia Hensley, the one they all whisper about, president of the HOA, a woman who signs her name on more bylaws than birthday cards, struts up our porch like she's running for sheriff, only she chairs the city's gun control committee. Yeah, that happened. And the look in her eye that day. Let's just say, bullies get real brave with an audience, but they crumble when you call their bluff. You picked the wrong porch, Patricia. I kept my voice low, calm, the way my mother taught me. Patricia's eyes flashed, fingers still tight on the trigger. My mom, Eileen, didn't even flinch. She just watched, silent, every wrinkle on her hands trembling, not from fear but from the Parkinson's, from the surgeries, the pills she takes so she can walk, bake, smile for this damn neighborhood. But Patricia, she wanted her pound of flesh for that gala, and a store-bought tray of cookies wasn't on brand. It was compliance theater, and today, she brought a gun to a cake fight. Is this how Silverwood Crest enforces dessert assignments now? Guns for shortbread, pistols for pound cake. I raised my hands, palms out, showing her I wasn't a threat, at least not the kind she thought. She called it obstructing HOA procedures. I called it preventing a federal felony. Her gun wasn't registered. Not on private property. Not with that safety off. Not with witnesses. Not with my mother within arm's reach. Patricia's mouth twisted. But this wasn't her courtroom. This was my family's porch, built by my dad, stood on through birthdays, deaths, hurricanes, protests, pandemic vigils. I wasn't here to fight. I was here to end the fight. She backed down first, dropped her arm, muttered about citations, and stomped off in those red heels, every click echoing her anger. The next day, the retaliation arrived. A fine slipped in our mailbox, $500 for non-participation. Second offense triggers a lien. The letter had a photo of mom sitting behind the door, time-stamped, surveillance level petty. You ever feel like someone's always watching, waiting for you to mess up? Welcome to Silverwood Crest, where patriotism is a lawn sign and power is a paper trail. I walked the block, not to pick a fight, but to take stock. The HOA, what started as a block party committee, had morphed into something colder, meaner. People don't wave anymore. They whisper, stare, reposition trash bins to avoid fines, trim hedges like surgeons. The community board is littered with passive-aggressive flyers, lists with names highlighted, my mother's, pending compliance, public shame in yellow highlighter. Patricia wasn't just enforcing rules, she was keeping score. I don't yell. I document. I log every letter, every notice, every random inspection. By night, I comb through the HOA's filings, budgets, vendor payments. Because I'm a forensic auditor by trade, ATF compliance by history, and Patricia had no idea what kind of neighbor she was trying to bully. Mom brought me coffee one night, asked what I was looking for. Any line that tells me where the money's going, I said. Any clue she's buying things no one voted for. Mom's eyes narrowed. You think she's buying weapons? I think she's hiding something. And if she is, I'll find it. The next HOA meeting felt like a funeral. Everyone in pressed khakis, no one making eye contact, compliance thick in the air. Patricia presided with her perfect smile, Mark the treasurer sweating bullets next to her. When I asked to see the security budget, Patricia stiffened. Mark fumbled, finally sliding me a spreadsheet. Payments to a company called Tactical Civic Solutions, a consultant with a history of moving semi-autos off the books. Mark met my gaze for the first time, a silent plea, don't make me say it out loud. I didn't have to. That night, the spreadsheet vanished from the drive. I'd already saved it, local, encrypted. Mom got another notice, now for harassment of HOA officers, fine doubled, threat of lien. She's trying to provoke you, I told Mom, to justify force. Mom didn't flinch, just stared out at the porch, stubborn as the day I was born. I took the paperwork to Jared Thomas, an old ATF buddy turned private consultant. He scanned the vendor list, grunted. This one's dirty. 3 aliases, Nevada front, flagged for restricted transfers. I nodded. She's hiding weapons in the HOA storage. Jared's advice, get proof, Don't engage. Let the feds watch. And they did. Meanwhile, Patricia doubled down. New flyers, bold compliance headers, programs for the gala listing my father, dead 3 years, as a legacy member. My mother's name right below, absence noted in the commemorative archive. Weaponized grief. She's using his name, Mom said, voice thin as smoke. To shame me. I took a breath, pulled up payment records, 3 checks to Tactical Civic Solutions, each just under the federal reporting limit, each tied to a storage unit 5 miles out. The lease was in Mark's name, but all roads led back to Patricia. A late-night ping, anonymous files. HOA internal notes, resident names ranked red, yellow, green. Ours were red, obstructionist. Son is a threat, likely to escalate. Fake bylaws. Patricia had built her own rulebook. Mark dropped by the porch, pale, scared. Handed me a flash drive, board emails, 1 thread detailing defensive assets, a citizen-first contingency plan, dirt on residents in case anyone pushed back. You realize this implicates you, I said. I know, Mark replied, voice cracking. But I can't help her anymore. The days before the gala, tension knotted the air. Security cameras sprouted overnight. Volunteers moved black bins into the rec center at dawn. Tablecloths, supposedly, but the heft told a different story. I sent photos to Jared. They're watching, he replied. Hold steady. The gala was a masterpiece of false unity. Every mailbox draped in streamers, polite reminders to attend. Patricia worked the crowd like a politician, her red blazer a warning light. I played the good neighbor, clipboard out, blending in, every detail logged. Security cameras, bulges under jackets, volunteers with the wrong kind of posture. Mark hovered in the back, eyes darting. At 11:32, Patricia took the mic, spoke of order, tradition, mutual accountability. Called compliance, cooperation. She never mentioned the surveillance, the fines, the threats. My phone buzzed. Jared. Device flagged. Sidearm confirmed in black bin. I looked at Mark, he mouthed now. I shook my head. Let Patricia finish. She needed one more lie. At 12:07 the agents moved. Quiet, business casual, radios snaking under collars. Ma'am, we need to speak with you. Patricia laughed, the kind that says, I'm still in control. She wasn't. We have visual confirmation of restricted equipment. The room froze. I stepped forward. This is HOA property, not yours. You bought weapons with resident dues. Mark stood steady. Patricia spun, accused me of harassment. You shamed my mother, threatened her, lied to every person here. I replied, calm, just loud enough. The agents opened the bin, handgun, tactical issue, loaded. Gasps. Phone's out. Ma'am, this is a federal violation. Patricia denied, blamed Mark, blamed everyone but herself. Clara, the retired librarian, spoke up. There's evidence. That's when Patricia's world caved in. No screaming, no sirens, just silence, and everyone finally watching. She resigned 2 days later. No apology, no rally, just a notice, a signature, a vacuum where her power used to be. The feds seized more containers, confirmed the weapons, confirmed the fraud. The board reformed. Mark cleared his name, told the truth. Fear makes people small, but silence makes them complicit. Mom's hands didn't shake anymore. The porch was ours again. We painted the steps, not for show, but to start over. Mark brought a pie, not as a bribe, but as a thank you. Mom let him sit. You're not afraid she'll come back, he asked. I shrugged. Maybe. But now she knows. We didn't just stand up to a bully. We tore up her rulebook, line by line, with witnesses, records, and law. This community learned compliance isn't peace. Order isn't obedience. And the most dangerous thing you can do to a bully is expose her rules and follow them louder than she ever dreamed. If you've ever dealt with an HOA tyrant, if you've had your dignity measured by the ounce or your silence counted as compliance, tell me your story below. Where are you watching from? What line would you never let anyone cross on your porch? This was ours. And we're not moving.